She hands it off to Jackson. Jackson uses the screen, lost the handle, bounced past to Plum. Plum loses it, regains it, throws it up for grabs. Grabbed by Boston out of the sky, and we're going to have a foul here. No, a timeout taken by Indiana.
What I love the most about this squad is that, just like O said, like we instill confidence, the coach instills confidence that any shot you take, shoot it with confidence because we trust you and we trust that you're going to make it. And I feel like that's just really helped us down the line because no matter who comes in, no matter who steps up, we're all just really happy for each other.
Aliyah following the game, Boston made a statement that had every Fever supporter talking. However, she lived it rather than merely discussing it. She finished with a career-high 6 thefts, 22 points, and 11 rebounds in a season marred by injuries for Indiana, closing it off with a game-ending stop. What did she intend by what she said? We're going to get into that because her post-game remarks may hold the secret to the Fever's most significant victory of the year. And despite growing injuries and unsteady momentum, one unlikely hero ignited the spark that put an end to LA. Let's examine how this victory altered everything for the season in Indiana. If you're cheering for the squad, leave a large Fever win comment. Come on.
Fever down! Bow, bow, bow! Hell yeah!
When half of your squad is dressed like homeless people, how do you win? As Indiana entered Los Angeles, that was the question that hung over them. Sophie Cunningham is out, Sydney Coulson and Ari McDonald are unavailable, while Caitlin Clark is on the sidelines. There are 4 playmakers for guards and 4 voices that are absent from the rotation. In a game with playoff implications, that is a death sentence for the majority of clubs. However, the Fever had no choice but to resist. They entered with nothing except perseverance and faith in the person who remained.
The resilient, nature of our team. I think one other thing that sometimes goes missed is just the character of these women, right? Especially this group that's been here, that's gone through all of this, and then the ones that we brought in with O and Shea and AP. I mean, these are women who care about winning. These are women who care about one another. These are women who sacrifice every single day.
Additionally, it went beyond the names on the injury list. This wasn't just any August regular season match. The Sparks weren't only another rival. This year, they have defeated Indiana each and every time they faced each other. 3 games, 3 defeats, each one a bit more annoying than the last. Even bad were the standings. Los Angeles was trailing by just 2 games in 9th place, while the Fever were sitting in 6th place, squeezing a postseason berth. In a heartbeat, that distance might narrow. Every discussion about this team was tinged with uncertainty because they had lost 4 of their previous 5 games. Did they collapse at the most inconvenient moment?
Steph mentioned, whenever she sees you with the 2 black eyes, she smiles in a way because it just exemplifies your toughness. Do you feel tough in these kinds of situations with these 2 black eyes?
I mean, that's what people keep telling me. Every time she sees me, she smiles and then she says, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, you don't need to be sorry. This is what it is. And when I'm playing, I forget about it, and then I go and look in the mirror. I'm like, oh shit, they're still there. So yeah, I don't really think too much about it because I don't necessarily feel them all the time.
Yeah, and you're still able to see completely fine.
Yep.
All right.
Nothing's changed.
All right. Perfect.
Imagine the difficulty. A group that appears weak from the outside. With 5 games remaining in the season, teams are now compelled to use haphazard lineups. Finding the ideal beat wasn't the goal anymore. The goal was to survive each and every possession. They adopted that mindset as their model. The person who received minutes had to do beyond what was typically required of them. Anybody who touched the court had to be stronger than they appeared.
Originally, I was like, I just need to get the swelling to go down in my forehead. So I put a patch, slept with it. The next day, woke up and I was like, okay, the bump is almost gone, but now I have 2 black eyes. So that was tragic. But I mean, it's at this point, it's unfortunately won't be able to hide it. People know, so just rolling with it.
Were you able to hide it for the photo shoots?
The makeup artist did a really, really, really good job. And people that hadn't met me before were like, oh, I can't even tell. I'm like, okay, that's good. We'll take it. But I'm hoping they'll do some editing in the post.
Then you noticed Lexi Hull. She wasn't merely having fun. Following her collision with Gabby Williams in the last game, she was competing with both eyes marked up. She still darted through screens, collected loose balls, and dug into opponents despite having 2 black eyes. That night, Hull was the perfect representation of what the Fever required. Even if it hurts, show up. Her very presence was a statement. Everyone wearing Indiana red would be able to persevere if she did.
I imagine on Tuesday you got checked for concussion, facial fracture. Just how much of a sigh of relief was it that you didn't have concussion or any kind of fracture in your face?
Yeah, honestly, when it happened, I was like relieved because I could feel myself like I was good to go. Like I felt completely with it. They did all the tests they needed to do and put ice on it right away, try to keep the swelling down. But I felt good knowing that obviously it could have been a lot worse. And I'm grateful for the people online wanting to check on me and make sure that I'm okay, but I am okay. I've been fully checked out. So.
This is what gave this game a unique vibe. Highlight passes and style points weren't the focus. There was a sense of urgency behind every stop, every rebound, and every basket. It might have ended abruptly with one miscalculated run from LA. However, the Fever persisted. They continued to push back against a squad that was focused on narrowing the gap in the standings, matching energy.
I like that we dug in. It wasn't ideal in terms of how the game was. It was ugly. We had moments where we were better than others, but we dug in. I mean, when you think about key defensive stops, key offensive rebounds, like AB's key offensive rebound there at the end, making plays, deflections that led to steals or deflections that led to bobbled passes.
Indiana created the conditions for an unexpected person to emerge by refusing to crumble under duress. A veteran who had been waiting for her chance to take center stage was able to do so because of the tenacity of that undermanned team. What if the unexpected player ended up being the one everyone needed to get closer to? When Odyssey Sims took the court in Los Angeles, that is just what transpired for Indiana. Consider it. The theme of this evening was meant to be survival. A roster that is struggling to stay together long enough to grab a victory. However, in some way, the game's beating heart was a 31-year-old veteran who wasn't even in the starting lineup. Additionally, Sims found the opponent's jersey to be considerably more significant. She referred to the Sparks as her team in the past. Her every possession was fueled by that extra layer of history, and it was evident from her playing style that this held personal significance.
Sims left open for 3. She got it! Offensive rebound, Sims the runner. Here's Howard. Shovels Sims right at the doorstep, and she gets it off the window. 3-on-3 the other way. Sims the take and finishes the lefty layup.
Most people don't expect a backup guard to be offensive at this point in her career. Unlike Aliyah Boston or Caitlin Clark, her name is not mentioned in the scouting report. However, the gaps typically appear when your top scorer, Kelsey Mitchell, struggles to establish her groove, scoring only 5 goals in 14 attempts. Rather, Sims transformed herself into the solution. She entered steadily, resolutely, and without hesitation. She handled each item as though she had been waiting for it her entire career, since every possession was important.
By Plum. Plum 1-on-2, ripped away there by Sims. Great play by Odyssey Sims. Played the ball. 3-on-3 the other way. Sims the take and finishes the lefty layup.
Odyssey.